Hmm. Like I said, they are hostages. They were kidnapped when their village was attacked by Fulani terrorists. Actually have a name. Hang on. Yeah. It is called Kwaji Village in a local government called Yoro local government area. Those terrorists attacked the communities. They killed as many people as they could. Yeah. Then they kidnapped those people you saw on your screen just now. So do you see when I keep using the word, terrorist and terrorist? If you are, Islamic jihadists, Fulani Islamic jihadists, it's because just take a look at that. Because they exist. They were kidnapping people for ransom, for money. Remember, it all started from you have to give them land. It wasn't about land. Nnamdi Kanu warned everyone, didn't he? Listen to this from those who are like member of parliament in Nigeria, presenting their own report of what they are passing through. And it's all from Fulani.
Troubling upswing in abduction incidents. Particularly distressing is the occurrence that transpired on 22nd of September 2023 when heavily armed bandits stormed off-campus female hostel at Federal University, Gusau, and abducted 40 female students. Mr. Speaker, out of these 40 female students, only 13 were so far been rescued by the military. Similarly, on the 17th of August, Mr. Speaker, 8 NYSC members from Akwa Ibom State were also kidnapped on their way to Sokoto State. And as of the present moment, Mr. Speaker, they remain in captivity. Also on that very day, Mr. Speaker, in Sape town, Sape local government, 6 people were brutally killed and dozens were taken to hostage. Also in that Sape again, Mr. Speaker, very recently on 21st of September 2023, a notable young businessman who is into telecommunication business, named as Anas Umar Wali Sape, was gruesomely murdered by bandits at exactly 8 p.m. inside his residence in Sape town. Mr. Speaker, this wave of criminality has since extended its reach into various communities of my constituency, such as Magami, Mada, Hain Alhaji, Wanzamai, Kwarenganwa, Enkuzo, Enwari, Mareri, Damba, and Karazao. Mr. Speaker, worried that in my constituency alone, over 126 individuals were abducted, including 33 children, and tragically, more than 56 innocent lives were claimed, all in the span of these 3 months, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, observe that these great events have not only left a trail of sorrow, but have also sparked widespread concern and outcry among our constituents, where our people.
True life story. The kidnappings are on record. The kidnapped, they are probably living on Tifnumbu's hope, like some of you are living on his hope, hoping that maybe someday, unfortunately, as they are there, some of you who are free today, you will become victims and they'll take you there too. That one is saying, I reject it in Jesus' name. I reject it for you too, but I wish that is the only thing you will need. Because can we say those ones who are in their captivity or those ones who are killed, they did not reject it in Jesus' name, Abi? They were Christians. They killed a pastor in that Taraba. A pastor, they killed him. They killed, actually killed 11 people in that community, then kidnapped 23. This is Taraba now. This is not Plateau. Hmm? Other places like Zamfara, where they kidnapped their 40 students. Students from the Federal University, Zamfara Biinko. So, and you heard the guy, only 13 have been released. These two from the mouth of those who are from the places, right? So here is another national lawmaker or federal lawmaker.
I represent the entire people of Gusau's IP federal constituency. Mr. Speaker, I am from Zamfara State. Mr. Speaker, I have two amendments. Number one, the heading of the motion. The heading of the motion call on the Inspector General of Police to intensify efforts to secure the immediate and safe release of 7 abducted corps members and 40 female students of the Federal University Gusau in Zamfara State. That's number one. Also goes to the fray. I urge the IGP and their security agencies to intensify effort and deploy personnel to secure the immediate and safe release of 7 abducted corps members and 40 female students of Federal University Gusau who are still in captivity in Zamfara State. Thank you, Mr. Speaker. That's my amendments. Any seconder to that? To amend the prayer so that the two should marry together. Because all of them, they were in captivity.
Your motion still stands, and your prayer still
No,
stands.
what I mean, the abduction, there is corps members and the female students. So the motion is saying that the 7 corps members should be, the IG of police should intensify efforts to secure the release instead of only
a town hall different from Blue. Bulaba.
If you can't understand, just forget about it. We are talking about those taken by the terrorists. Somebody is telling you that you have Fulani phobia. Who will not have Fulani phobia if a member of your family have been killed by these criminals or these terrorists? Especially recently. Would you not feel worried? This is where we expect those who are real Fulanis to actually be at the forefront of those that will be calling for the execution of all these rogues and criminals. Not take offense and begin to gaslight people. Because we know a lot of you that actually supports the killings. Because to you, they are doing it for Allah. Even when you know they are not. So let's go back to that Plateau. But before we go back to Plateau, you've heard about Zamfara. You've probably heard about that of Nasarawa too. You probably should have heard that of Bauchi, Yobe. All these places, they are killing people every day. To the point that you can easily tell that apart from the people, I mean, the communities being Christian communities, as you know, they are not only being killed because they are Christians, they are also being ethnically being cleansed out of the entire space, so that in 5-10 years time, the survivors, they will still be living in IDP camps, and they would have probably brought in their, bringing their own emirs or sultan or any title, rename the communities. All of these are real. And the people, they are left just to this. Let's kind of go back there, because from there, I'm going to take you down south. We need to talk. If you are from southern Nigeria, Yoruba to be precise, we need to talk.
So I am Reverend Yakubu Mutom. I am a pastor with the Church of Christ in Nations. But this is my village. This is Mayanga. Mayanga is in Bokos local government, Plateau State of Nigeria. What really happened here is not only in this village that we're affected by this crisis. We're affected by more than 11 villages, which Mayanga happens to be one. And in these villages, It is the same method of attack that was conducted. It's the killing, the maiming of people, slaughtering them, and burning of their houses and their foodstuffs and properties. So by now, by the record we have already collected, we have over 150 people that are killed in one day. That is on the 24th of December. That is, the Christmas was just not a Christmas to us, like to celebrate. It was a mourning Christmas because of what happened to us. As you could see, I'm standing here. This is my house in my village, and I lost everything that was in the house, both food stuff, clothing, and whatever. It was a furnished house, but it is burnt. And even the church that is by my side was burnt, and the pastorium is burnt. Everything about us here in this village is confused. As you could see, that everything is destroyed. But we thank God that some of us are alive. And at the cost of this, like me now, I lost 7 of my brothers at the cost of this crisis.
And typical. Well, we thank God that some of us that are still alive, or more, even those of you that are alive, they are still coming back to kill you. That's the plan. Or you completely have to run away, never to come back. That's the plan. And listen to me, please. I know a lot of you are not from these areas, this hotspot. Okay. And some of you are like experts in giving advices. Like, they should stop complaining. They should defend themselves. That's why I said I'm coming back to that too. Okay? There are some certain things you need to remember. When you have a government that is intentionally allowing this to happen, okay? Intentionally, because of these are intentional. And that same government is willing to disarm you for these murderers. And in the case you try to go beyond them and say you want to still defend yourself, if you are not killed by the terrorist, they can kill you. These are the things people face there physically on ground. So do not think those people don't know how to defend themselves. You should just know that their killers are being hated by those who are supposed to protect Nigerians. Here you get. And I understand when people say, but they can use other means and trying to get themselves. That's why I said, listen, some of these things are convenient to say if you are not there physically. I just want you to please, in every of your suggestions, don't ever even suggest that these people, they were cowards. They are not. Just take a look around you. And that is why I'm not kind of happy with some of you that come here to talk about and begin to kind of, ask about Gowon. How about Gowon today? This is a karma. And I do remember that. If you remember those who were also gloating when this same system, this same gang up rigged system spent so much to blacklist the IPOB, the ESN. And some of you still kind of stylishly believe that all they told you that ESN did in Eastern Nigeria, they did it. Because you spent your life waiting for evidence to show that these people are going to be violent. And since they are not violent, whatever they say they are doing right now violently, they must be doing it even without any evidence. But here is something. I have told myself this many times, and I'll tell you again. So, when you read your history, our ancestors were not really really good people per se. A lot of them did what they had to do, according to them, just to survive. And that is why when you read all of the things our ancestors did historically, some of them you are proud of what they did. I'm proud of them and all of that. Some people walk about with the ones they are so proud of. There are some other dirty ones. In the process as well, you read about their enemies, this, their friends, that. So I told myself, when I read history, no matter how everyone puts their own perspective of the history, my intention when I read history is to learn from the history, never to be imprisoned by the history. I won't read history in order to inherit the enemies of my own ancestors. I would rather learn, how did my ancestor fare when they did that? A lot of you have a lot to say about the Middle Beltans. There's something you must remember. Majority of those who are now today the victims of the terrorism in the Middle Belt and every other part of Nigeria. I mean, majority of us were not even alive. We were not alive to carry out any attack on ourselves, especially the Igbos, precisely. So if you look into your history and you feel so bad about what people did back then, you should not sit back in the current arrangement. Sit back and gloat over it, because if you pay attention very well, it is the same target, the same agenda against every one of us. And even though you and I were not alive when they all kind of ended up in this contraption, you and I didn't choose this. We found ourselves today. You didn't choose to be Igbo. Do you know that? None of these people chose to be Middle Beltans and then their own, ethnic nationality as they are today. None of us actually chose any of this. So if we have anything to learn from our histories, it's never to make the same mistakes. When the entire criminal elite and political class of Nigeria ganged up against the Igbos, and that led to the genocide of over 5 million people. And these 5 million people were not even like killed, like, you know what I mean? Majority of us were not alive. So if we actually want to have a better or a kind of a clearer future for our own generations, I would say, it is not the ideal time, okay, to be proud of inheriting the enemies of your ancestors, because none of our ancestors was holy in anything and everything. However, in the Middle Belt, just like you have seen there, some believes that, thank God that they are still alive. But the real agenda here is this. Today, just like they are from Middle Belt down south, the reason why they will want you to always be sort of, worried. No, that's not weighty. I'm looking for a word that is not too, too kind of heavy, and it's not too light. You know what I mean? Like, they want to put you in that perpetual fear of the unknown. And that is why they spend so much today. Not just today, they've been spending so much up till today. I think that's the right way to put it. Up till today, to make you believe that ESN, IPOB, they are more dangerous than the Fulani terrorists that are kidnapping women, raping them, kidnapping children, raping them, selling them off as slaves, ransacking villages, killing and massacring people. They want you to feel that, that kind of, just live in your own imagination of the unknown. So you understand what I'm trying to kind of say, right? And when you look at those who are pushing most of this, you will see the Fulanis fully behind it, until those who have their own political hatred for the Igbos. I am talking about the Ronukus, including those of you who are watching me right now, who are members of the Yoruba Ronukus, the Tifnumbus gang. Oh, I actually have something for you. And it's like for everyone too. Talking about don't inherit anyone's enemy if you are thinking you are fighting for a just cause, no matter who you are. When you are a Fulani and the Fulani terrorists are doing all this terrorism, yeah, you will team up with others and say, listen, we know all these terrorists. They might be like us, but they don't speak for us. They don't represent us. We will never leave our own places and begin to kill people in Edo because we want their land or something. No, we won't do that. These are enemies of Nigeria. We encourage all of you, Nigeria, to join them, not going to gaslight other Nigerians and say, so you don't like Fulani. It's because you hate the Fulani. It's because you hate Islam. It's because you know what I mean? When you see terrorists who are killing people simply because Islam told them to kill people if they are infidel, that is not the moment for you as a Muslim to begin to feel like, well, all of you are just people who don't like Islam. But what about these guys who are doing all of this? It's not the right time for you to, you know what I mean now? Same thing that you are Igbo, or you are not Igbo, but you are not Middle Beltans, and you feel like whatever Gowon did, and the people that, and all the atrocities he committed or allowed to happen, the generations that are now here today, that are now being hunted and slaughtered by these terrorists, they deserve that. That would be kind of like, no, man, that's cold and stupid too. That's, to me, that's the way I see it. And it is also same thing as well, right? When you look at those, for example, if you are Igbo, for example, you need to caution everyone who feels like that. Like, come on, come on. We understand that, right? But here is the truth, right? We are all victims, Nabi. So when you now look at those who are shouting Ronu, Ronu, Ronu Kus, there are some of you who are Yorubas, and you are watching those who claim to be Ronu Kus, the Lagos Aboba Kus, the Tifnumbus as leakers, the bat idiots. Okay, because of Tifnumbu, they started the Igbo Yoruba war, Yoruba Igbo war. Okay, and you are watching them, you are seeing them that they are doing it. So it's these guys. Oh, look at all this nonsense. Look at all this ethnic baiting and all of that. But you got offended when you read another Igbo person responding to another bigot. Like Igbo bigot responding to Yoruba bigot. You are seeing that, but because you felt like that's Yoruba being insulted. So I need to defend Yoruba, so you jumped into it. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of stupid, but people do it. You see, I used to like Obi, but when I look at all these Igbo people and what they are saying about my tribe, I just know that this Obi can never be president. You know, that kind of a thing, right? That's stupid. Stupid, right? Because you can easily tell. You know what I mean? Those who are possibly benefiting from the chaos, and you are just enablers who are enabling them. I say, welcome back to your senses. Now this or that. So when terrorists are killing people, when you see the real terrorists, you call them by their names. Fulani terrorists. Simple. As a Fulani, you must never be offended. Rather, you will tell everyone, I'm a Fulani. Oh. Because what in the air will make Fulani terrorists kill 5 Amotekun in Ondo in a space of 5 months? Did you hear that? Ondo State has no border with any Fulani. Sokoto State can be Fulani State. That's their caliphate. Ondo State is Yoruba land, very far from the caliphate. Why would Amotekun that is set up, okay, to kind of, they are like forest rangers. They go after those who are illegally occupying the forest in Yoruba land. That's the job. But who are those who are illegally occupying forest in Yoruba land? Fulani. Do you get that now? They are Fulani. Now, you want to tell me that they are Fulani from Niger, they are Fulani from Libya, they are Fulani from this or that, but they are Fulanis. And if somebody says, oh, we want to put together a security that will kind of chase them away, kill them and get rid of them, you as a Fulani now feel offended. Is that not suspicious? Wouldn't that be suspicious? Amotekun was set up. We saw what happened that time. A lot of people believe that Akeredolu was probably like poisoned and all of that. There are people who believe that. All because of this, Yorubas must defend themselves. The Igbos also have to defend themselves. Nnamdi Kanu was called a terrorist because he said the Igbos will defend themselves against these armed terrorists so that they will not be burning down Igbo villages like that. Like what you just seen in that video. Somebody said, no, we will never let this happen in our own place. That will be the job of the government, Abi. Shouldn't that be the government's job? But government now decided to blacklist the people and said they are non-state actors. The guns they are holding is not government approved, so they must be terrorists. Who approved the guns that the Fulanis are carrying everywhere? Who approved the guns? Who licensed them? Nobody. Nobody has a clue other than the criminals in government. But they continue to tell you the way this Nnamdi Kanu is talking, it's going to cause war in Nigeria. Why would defending myself cause war in Nigeria? Have you ever thought of that? Eh? That Nnamdi Kanu has now gotten an army. This country, they must do something to him. Why? Because he wants to stop these criminals, right? A lot of you believe that too. He must be stopped. This nonsense must be stopped. He's not kidnapping people. He's not threatening. I mean, they are not threatening anybody. Like they said, Nigerian government and Nigerian security system are compromised. The people deserve to defend themselves. Volunteers, come out, let's defend ourselves. And they told you they are dangerous, and you believe them. You believe them. Abi, but you are so angry. You are very angry when people talk about the Fulani terrorists. Stop stereotyping. Let us all stop stereotyping. Are you mad, Dini? So mad, Dini? Stereotyping. There is no other tribe in Nigeria, other ethnic nationality in Nigeria that kills other people. None. Not ESN, not IPOB, not Yoruba Nation, not all this, except the Fulanis. Are you listening? But they make you believe that Nnamdi Kanu is good, and some of you still believe today, till tomorrow. A lot of you, sometimes when you want to kind of use reverse psychology, man, the way this country is going, I just hope that they are not going to make me begin to believe all these Nnamdi Kanu's prophecies. Are you mad? Are you mad? You're mad, right? So you kind of heard those prophecies and you see them happening right now, but you are like telling yourself, man, this government is just going to make me start believing that all this Nnamdi Kanu said. No, that is not what you have problem with. You have problem with accepting the fact that he was right and he is still right. Some of you are asking questions today. Why is all this happening? Where is government? Somebody said the government is going to be behind it. You are going to be on your own. They will disarm you. You are just going to sit duck and get killed. Why would Fulani kill 5 Amotekun in Ondo? And why are we just hearing that now? The media. The media says the government will punish them if they tell you what is going on. Exactly the way it is going on. That will be violating the law of the media, the government's law. Really? Because that means the government is not really interested in whatever it is. You are on your own. Let's hope you survive it. And if you don't, well, that's going to be your own chance. Somebody said they had to move their grandmother from their own community just about 4 days ago or thereabouts. The community, the Ekiti farmers, they came out and they said 30 farms, which means probably 30 farmers. 30 farms have been completely taken over by the Fulani terrorists in Ekiti State. Ekiti has no border with Ondo, with Sokoto, far away from Nigeria. But Ekiti people have no clue or any idea what is going to be their fate, because the government gives no shit about them, and they know. Ekiti, but you can't talk about it, can you? Baba, I just read the report too that said in Yoruba land alone, we lost 4,000 farmers. See, 4,000 farmers. And the media reported it as for farmers and others clashes. They died, got killed. And somebody is shouting Yoruba Ronu, that Igbos are coming to take over your land. 2015 to 2023, 8 years in Yoruba land, we lost over 4,000 farmers. And there is actually no real news about it everywhere. The areas like in Ogun State, the people of Imekwapon, local government area in Ogun State, majority of the communities have become like that of Plateau State that you just saw. In fact, some of them were actually like packing and leaving completely. They were leaving their communities. In Ogun State, Yewa North, Yewa South, go and see what life is like for people there in the hands of the Fulani terrorists. True story, true life story. But a Yoruba man is being made to believe that Igbo man is coming to take over his land, and he believes it. He's so angry. The Igbos have no respect. Everywhere they go, they want to control everything. They are killing us. Fulani are killing us. And you, a Yoruba man, you are on social media. You are gloating over IPOB, over ESN in Eastern Nigeria. You are gloating. You are calling them terrorists. Fulani are killing us. You don't even know. You probably have no idea. That's the lie. Where did they kill 4,000? Just like we said, if it hasn't happened to me, it's probably not happening. It's not happening. It's just some exaggeration. Some people that don't like APC. Like I've heard that like a million times. And somehow you just feel like maybe it should just happen to this person so that he can believe. But from my own experience, those who have become the victims, they never live to tell the story like the real victims. This happened in Yoruba land. Amotekun have abandoned some of the communities too, like the Nigerian military, Nigerian police. But it's not making the media. You don't even know the danger you are in. Like, they are trying to make it feel normal. How could something like this feel normal? Let's go back to that Plateau State again. Would you ever kind of feel like this is normal for people to kind of live with? No.
That even the houses were burned, they removed the roofing sheets to go and just sell them as scraps. Some houses that were not totally burned up, they go climb the roof to remove sheets. This is the experience we are passing through, and it's very terrible. It was like a planting. It went round at the same time, a systematic plan of completely I will only qualify this as a genocide. So we are very happy, we are grateful for your comment, and we are trusting that whatever NEMA has brought, it will be properly shared to these IDPs, because we believe it's in good hands that we will take care of sharing as we have done. Relief materials have come in a little. Since Sunday, it was only yesterday that we were able to have the relief material shared to them from Sunday. So you can imagine the kind of trauma, the kind of pain, the kind of experience they are passing through. For them to have nothing to put in their mouths. They were living at the mercy of those they are living in their homes. Because since it was not a planned thing, many of them escaped with their lives. without anything, and everything in their homes rests down. Food, everything. When we say everything, it's just everything. Women jump from high cliffs that are up to this roof down just for them to escape. Because there are those who are living where clean mining took place. So they have to jump. If you jump and you are not able to stand and continue the running, they shoot you and leave. So it is a terrible experience. We pray that God will have mercy on us.
In the name of God, that He sort of have mercy on them. Then this woman too.
As it happens to be, that is the 24th. We were just enjoying ourselves, frying all this. Nobody was aware of anything. But very unfortunate. As time goes on, around 6 to 7, they end up inside villages, dispersing people, shooting here and there. But we were so desperate. We just stand like this. We walk outside. What is happening? We just saw them all around. They have surrounded us. There is nowhere for us. Little children, pregnancy woman. There is no how for them to run. Little one. The one she has at her back, she cannot be able to hold it. Pregnancy, all this thing. We just ran as fast as we could. So people were grumbling on the ground because shooting was everywhere. We lack where to go. We don't know where they are because the villages was surrounded. So as God will make it, God says that wonder shall never end. We thank God. We know that God is alive and we appreciate Him. God has done what He has done. I don't even know that any one of them will be alive as well. Besides that, there are many of us that have shooted, they have slaughtered it. Where I have came from, I'm from Yalwanono. Our pastors with his family, only the pastor is alive. They have burned the house, the church is completely down. His family was killed completely. He's now at Ondo. In fact, it marvels and it beats everybody's imagination. So you are highly welcome. We thank you very much for your cooperative. And thank you for the effort you have made, for the long journey. You heard about it and you care for us. You took time, you came and see us. You are welcome. We are very grateful. Thank you.
But the unfortunate thing is this. These are the latest victims that you see on camera. This is like a normal thing. Every day, they continue to, the number of people that ended up in refugee camps continue to increase and increase and increase. So no matter how emotional you feel watching that, those are just the recent victims. And this is exactly what they want for all of us. And that is why, if I have any advice, share you get for the people, it won't probably be the kind of advice you give in the open without it being termed as incitement. Sure, you understand? But I will still try to give this little idea and advice. Like I said, the people were intentionally disarmed for a period like this. Their Muslim ticket agenda suits this murderous agenda. And to those of you who have been following Tifnumbu's fraudulent politics for a while, you kind of would agree with me, at least if you don't agree with me on everything, that Tifnumbu is a big-time fraud and everyone associated with him. Because you know what? These guys for years, They were shouting, restructuring, this or that, yeah. And as a Yoruba man that has been presenting himself as a progressive for a while, he was one of those who were opposed to the formation of Amotekun because according to him, it would offend the jihadist north, the murderers, the terrorists. Anything that we put out an impression that whatever it is that is coming, the Yorubas can defend themselves and stand. That is going to be like an indirect declaration of war to say you would defend yourself. Politically, Tifnumbu ensured that Amotekun never succeed. Now you have to prove me wrong here. These killings and murdering and all of that have been in existence for the past 10 years. The last 8 years saw even more bloodbath. And in fact, it makes it more clearer to people what is really going on. But a supposed Yoruba progressive is your president right now. And he is still giving orders to the military to capture the murderers, the killers, the genocidists, like Bokuwari also did. So if somebody tell you that it is part of their Muslim ticket ideal or what have you, it simply means that they have signed up that all of us should be killed. So do you now see the collaboration where there is never going to be any help from the government? Any attempt for Tifnumbu to publicly say, defend yourselves, Amotekun, this, even in eastern part of Nigeria, even the more reason why they will ask, they will want you to they were putting more and more pressure on you to agree with them that ESN and IPOB, they are dangerous, even when they have actually done absolute nothing to harm anyone. There is no proof. But you have the Fulani, Abi, and you have all the proof. But yet, you need to disarm the ESN. The southern politicians, the southern governors met, okay, on top this issue. And they said, we need our own security to fight these terrorists occupying our forests. After the meeting, the Igbo governors and some Yoruba governors, they make a roundabout turn, 360. They just went to bed. The cameras were off. That's why I will continue to sort of give somebody like Akeredolu his flower. Sheyi Makinde, I always give him his own flower too. Who else was there? Just 2 governors in the entire southwest Nigeria. The rest were just there for the photo ops. Dubious Dapo of Ogun State, where the Fulani terrorists are already controlling areas that you can listen to this. Ungoverned area in Ogun State, Yoruba land. Fulani is occupied areas ungoverned by the Nigerian government. But where is Amotekun in Ogun State? There is Amotekun in Ogun State, as you know, completely under what do you call that one? Under equipped. I mean, you know the long story now, Abi. When you go to Osun State, that share border with Oyo State, where these terrorists are so prominent that they even kidnap old women to rape old women going in smaller villages or outskirts villages. Cowards. Osun State has no real, but they do have their own Amotekun too. Are they equipped the way they should? Are they kind of really going after the terrorists as they should? I'm not saying they don't. I'm saying deliberately they incapacitated them. I mean, Sheyi Makinde is sort of kind of been in the news with the Amotekun as well, going after the real terrorist. I have seen few. But again, all of these were like underutilized, underperformed, under-equipped, all of this intentional in the entire Yoruba land. But what about the Igbos? It's even more ridiculous. And why they spend so much to kind of make you believe that ESN is dangerous, this one is that, and you believe them is because southern governors and southern politicians agreed to set up their own local security. Amotekun for the Yorubas, Ebube Agu for the Igbos. Only for them to gather political thugs, give them guns, another kind of a license to kill. And they called them Ebube Agu. They were not looking for Fulani terrorists. They were looking for ESN and IPOB members to either kidnap for organ harvesting or just for outright killings, or possibly just lock them up. It became a game to them. And the Fulani still kind of were wondering, how come that despite this work that you guys are trying to do to stop all this IPOB and ESN, how come there are still ESN in their forest? It is only in Igbo land where you have less existence of all these Fulani terrorists. Because it's like they know they are going to places where inside that bush, some people can show up and fire them before they even act. You get that? It's the only region where they know that those who have guns, they are using their guns. And most of them actually have the guns because of them. It is only part in Nigeria, in Yoruba land, where some people tried to still ensure that that outfit was put in place. We lost 4,000 farmers, 5 Amotekun personnel in Ondo State alone. The guy even gave names. Let me see if I can pull them up.